Alright, let's spill the details, and you know I've got to break it down for you. Welcome back to Chronicle Speaks. Kandi entered this divorce hoping to keep things smooth, amicable, and respectful. She wanted a process that didn't turn messy, one that prioritized her family's well-being. But when she realized Todd intended to challenge the prenup and push for primary custody of the children, that's when she drew a firm line in the sand. In response, Kandi has filed an amended complaint, making it crystal clear to the court that her children are in excellent hands under her care. From the very start, she had a full-time nanny for both kids, an arrangement Todd not only knew about but had approved years ago. Beyond professional childcare, Kandi has the support of her parents, as well as an extended network of family members living nearby, all within roughly 5 to 20 miles of the family home. With this support system in place, she's demonstrating that her children's stability, routine, and emotional needs will continue to be fully met, no matter what happens in the divorce proceedings. Kandi is now officially seeking primary custody of her children, while Todd would be allowed visitation under her terms. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. She's also firmly shutting down Todd's claims that he signed the prenup under duress. In her filing, she calls that allegation outright false. According to Kandi, she has both audio and video evidence, yes, receipts, showing that the night before the wedding, Todd explicitly agreed to the prenup as long as 2 provisions were amended. So the question remains, what's his angle now? And let's be clear, anyone familiar with Kandi knows she doesn't mess around when it comes to protecting her money. Todd may think he's asserting control, but Kandi's always ready to match her bark with a bite when it comes to her finances. This divorce is shaping up to be anything but simple. But hold on, because there's more. Kandi has taken steps to tighten control over the case by filing a motion for a confidentiality order and a motion to seal court documents. What does that mean in practical terms? Simply put, no more public filings, no more courtroom tea, no more Bravo flashbacks, and no deep dives into her finances or her children. Todd and anyone connected to the case can now only discuss matters with the judge, attorneys, or accountants directly involved. Sharing details outside of that circle would violate the court order. The rationale behind this move is to protect the best interests of the minor children and ensure that sensitive information doesn't get leaked on social media, news outlets, or the internet, which could compromise the integrity of the proceedings. Kandi is making it clear that discretion is key and that the divorce should be handled privately and respectfully. Interestingly, looking at Todd's response to her complaint sheds light on his perspective. In Section 23 of his filing, he notes, while husband remains hopeful that the parties can resolve all issues amicably and privately, husband expressly reserves the right to assert and add additional grounds for divorce, as permitted by law. Essentially, he's keeping his options open while trying to maintain a public appearance of cooperation, though it's clear the court and Kandi are keeping the power firmly in her corner. In short, Kandi is taking a strategic, measured approach, protecting her children, safeguarding her finances, and limiting public exposure, all while making it unmistakably clear that the rules of engagement have changed. Todd may have once been a partner, but in this divorce, Kandi is calling the shots, and she's doing it with precision, poise, and a firm focus on what matters most. Here's what I'm seeing. Kandi was trying to keep things calm and measured, but there's only so much patience you can have when the other side digs in. She basically said, "Hold up, let's keep it on track." Todd's attorneys, however, were quick to spot a technicality, pointing out that Kandi hadn't signed the original petition, and they used that to their advantage. In response, Kandi filed a brand new verification page for her initial petition, which is a move you only make when the other side calls it out. Now, Todd's attorney, Randy Kessler, is extremely experienced, and he wasn't letting anything slide. Interestingly, Kandi's attorney, Adama McKinnon, actually clerked under Kessler earlier in her career, but even with that background, she apparently made some early missteps that Kessler was ready to highlight. Turning to Kandi's amended petition, it lays out that the couple married in April 2014. Before the wedding, both parties negotiated, drafted, and executed a legally enforceable prenuptial agreement in accordance with Georgia law. Todd had full legal representation throughout this process, with Kessler providing guidance both on and off camera. The petition also notes that the process of creating the prenup was documented for Bravo's reality series, Kandi's Wedding, which premiered on June 1, 2014. Both Kandi and Todd consented to having their journey filmed for the 5-part series, making it a publicly visible part of their marital planning. One notable detail from Todd, captured in an email, concerned extreme hypothetical scenarios such as illness or disability, where he questioned what he might be entitled to if something went wrong. In essence, he seemed to suggest that certain protections in the prenup might leave him with little to nothing under those circumstances. Overall, the amended petition carefully chronicles the prenuptial process, emphasizes the voluntary and informed consent of both parties, and underscores that the agreement was both legally sound and publicly documented. It positions Kandi as diligent, informed, and compliant, while also highlighting Todd's awareness and participation throughout the legal and media-driven process. This framing sets the stage for the court to see the prenup as enforceable and both parties as fully aware of their rights and responsibilities, countering any claims of duress or misunderstanding. It's a careful, strategic move in a case that mixes legal, personal, and public elements all at once. And honestly, that's exactly how it came across. The prenup felt almost purely business. Kandi seemed to have reviewed it thoroughly, and Todd never gave a reason to believe they weren't on the same page. The issue, she noted, emerged only after Todd brought in his attorney and started leaning heavily on what Randy says or Randy thinks. Kandi's response was straightforward. "This is about Todd, not his lawyer." "What do you want?" she asked. "We already talked about how things should flow. Why bring a third party into something we agreed on?" During the Bravo documentary, Todd even publicly confirmed in a private conversation with Kandi, after consulting with his attorney, Randy Kessler, that he was comfortable signing the prenup. He admitted there were just 2 sticking points he wanted adjusted: the 30-day move-out clause and some clauses about wills in the event of death. Kandi's stance was simple. "Fix those 2 issues and I'm good. Let's just move forward." The conversation made it clear that Todd understood and agreed the provisions were fair, reasonable, and equitable. He affirmed he was signing voluntarily, without coercion, threats, or undue influence from Kandi or anyone else. There was no pressure, no hidden agenda, just a clear understanding between the 2 parties that they were making a mutual, informed decision. Kandi also highlighted their professional lives and parenting arrangements in the petition. Both she and Todd are public figures and self-employed entrepreneurs with schedules that often require travel across the metropolitan area and throughout the country. To ensure their children were cared for consistently, Kandi had hired and maintained a full-time nanny whose role included daily care and assistance with the minor children throughout their marriage and since the birth of each child. Importantly, Todd never objected to this arrangement, acknowledging the stability it provided for their family. In essence, the amended petition paints a picture of a marriage that, at least regarding the prenup, was handled with transparency, consent, and fairness. It underscores Kandi's careful approach, her diligence in protecting both the children and the family's assets, and her insistence on clear communication, all while navigating the complexities of a relationship under public scrutiny. Both Kandi and Todd have demanding professional lives that often take them away from home for extended periods, both separately and together, even before and after the birth of their children. To ensure their kids were cared for during these absences, Kandi maintained a full-time nanny. Beyond professional childcare, she also benefits from a robust family network, maternal grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins all living within roughly 5 to 20 miles of the family home. This close-knit support system has consistently provided emotional and physical care for the children throughout the marriage, complementing the nanny's daily presence. In her amended petition, Kandi invokes OCGA Section 19-9-3, asserting that it is in the best interest of the minor children for her to be awarded primary physical custody. Todd would still receive consistent parenting time in accordance with a structured parenting plan. Naturally, primary physical custody determines who receives child support, and Kandi has made it clear she does not intend to pay Todd any support, emphasizing that her extensive support system and nanny arrangement more than ensure the children's well-being. From all indications, The children have adjusted well to the care arrangements in both homes. Kandi's petition also highlights the reality of modern family life. Juggling multiple responsibilities and careers while maintaining a nurturing environment for children is no easy feat. She points out that while money is important, it's meaningless if one is not present to actively parent. The petition reflects a clear understanding of the balance required between work, family, and ensuring stability for the children. In her prayer for relief, Kandi requests a full divorce from Todd while securing joint legal custody with final decision-making authority on critical matters such as education, academics, and healthcare, both temporarily and permanently. She asks for primary physical custody, with child support determined according to Georgia guidelines, and for enforcement of the prenuptial agreement in full. Additionally, she seeks any other relief the court deems just and appropriate, leaving no room for ambiguity. Visually, Kandi's position could be likened to a lioness protecting her cubs, asserting that while Todd may try to assert influence, the children's well-being remains firmly under her care. Observers have long speculated about Todd's strategy, suggesting it may have been designed to leverage certain advantages, but Kandi is making it clear her children are her top priority, and she will fiercely protect their stability. As this divorce continues to unfold, the waters remain complicated, and the outcome is far from certain. But one thing is clear: Kandi is taking measured, decisive steps to secure her family's future. Now, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the Kandi and Todd situation? Drop your opinions in the comments. Let's get the conversation going. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of the latest updates or new episodes. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.